Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the fourth annual Motorcycle Safety and Awareness Campaign launch. I'm Michael Higgins from CTV2's Alberta Primetime. I'm very pleased to be the MC this year and help celebrate the safe return of motorcycles to Alberta roads. First of all, a huge thank you to all of you for braving the chill. The support you are showing, it's huge. It validates all the hard work that Liane Langlois and Marty Forbes and their incredible team at the Alberta Motorcycle Safety Society do. And they do it not only during Motorcycle Awareness Month in May, but they do it every single day of the year. And to them, we owe a debt of gratitude. And to you, a huge thank you as well for turning out. Now, if you see some familiar faces out in the crowd here, big tall dudes like Terry Evans and Daryl McIntyre, and little guys like, I think Pete's here, and of course, Berkey Boy is here as well. It's not only because there's a gaggle of us media folks who ride, but we also represent stations with a commitment to supporting AMSS initiatives by opening up the safety discussion on air and with regular rotations of radio and public service announcements on TV. And that all helps to get the important message out to the broader motoring public. It puts the issue in front of folks on four wheels, and it means a lot to me to help to convey that message. And I have to say, we at CTV we're pretty proud too of the PSA that our production team shot for AMSS this year, and you'll see that on the air. Now, there are many partners on the motorcycle safety and awareness front, and we've invited a few of those folks to come out and join us today. And the first person we'd like to call up is Jay Padilla from CycleWorks. He'll be here to share some thoughts on behalf of the motorcycle industry. Jay, come on over, sir.
All right, thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jay Padilla, and I'm from CycleWorks Motorsports. It is an honor to be here with you all today for the launch of the 2019 Alberta Motorcycle Safety Society Awareness Campaign. We are extremely fortunate and proud to be a corporate member of AMSS. Nobody does it better. Nobody helps spread safety, education, and awareness for Alberta motorcyclists quite like AMSS. We know CycleWorks has been around for 39 years, and with 6 locations throughout the province, we take motorcycling seriously. It is our business. It is our way of life. CycleWorks was built on the foundation of community, actively participating in all the good things in the motorcycle community. Motorcycle enthusiasts participate in countless charity rides and events that do so many wonderful things for people in our great province. And this motorcycle community is one that we are extremely proud of. The AMSS campaign is important to all of us, whether you ride a motorcycle or not. We all need to share the road, and we all need to be responsible for our actions on these very roads. As a rider, first and foremost, getting on a motorcycle is exciting. I love it. It is the ultimate in freedom. But with the ultimate in freedom, we must take responsibility for doing it the right way. We all need to have our motorcycles in proper working order. We need to wear the proper gear all the time. And we must continue to be respectful of our fellow motorists on the road. We also need to be aware of our surroundings. We need to create that space between us and everybody else. Sometimes we need to be able to use our throttle to get away from trouble, and sometimes we need to use our brakes to get away from trouble. Hopefully, we are never put in those situations. For those of you in 4 or more wheeled vehicles on the road, please pay attention. Watch for us. Put down that phone, look twice, shoulder check, give us space, and please share the road. What this campaign does is open the conversation to remind us that motorcycles are back. That's right, we're back. We cannot thank Liane and her team at AMSS enough for doing this. They are doing very, very good things for the motorcycle community, and we at CycleWorks are proud to be part of it. It is important for all of us to think bike. It is also important for us to get involved. Get an AMSS membership. If you can, become a corporate member like us. At very least, help spread the word. Motorcycles are back on Alberta roads. And motorcycle riders, remember, we're always here to enjoy the ride. Thank you.
Thank you kindly, Jay. No, we have, as you can see by all the beautiful police bikes out here, we have representation from the law enforcement community as well. And joining us is Constable Ben Luymes. He is with the RCMP's Capital Region Integrated Traffic Services. Constable Luymes, come on up, sir.
Good day. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered on Treaty 6 territory, a traditional meeting ground and home for many Indigenous and Métis people. Ms. Liane Langlois, AMSS President, MC Mr. Michael Higgins, Ms. Wendy Doyle, Alberta Transportation, Mr. J. Padilla, Mr. Colin Spencer Lee, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Constable Ben Luymes. I'm a member of the Strathcona County RCMP, Capital Region Integrated Traffic Services. Thank you for inviting me here today to speak at the 4th Annual Alberta Motorcycle Safety Society campaign launch event. I'd like to start with some quick facts. In 2018, there were 12 people killed and 232 motorcycles involved in injury collisions in Alberta RCMP jurisdictions. These numbers are down from 2016, the year of the inception of AMSS, where 23 people were killed and 285 motorcycles were involved in injury collisions in Alberta RCMP jurisdictions. This improvement shows the importance of the work AMSS does. While the numbers may be down, they are still far too high. These numbers remind us that there is still more we can do together to raise awareness about safe motorcycling, the cause that brought us here together today. I am pleased to see great organizations like Alberta Sheriffs, the Alberta Transportation, EPS 50 Motorsports, Edmonton Motorcycle Road Racing, and CycleWorks, who strive towards zero traffic fatalities in attendance today. Each of our organizations play an important role in working toward creating safer roads across the province. Your significant contributions make an impact in the lives of Albertans every day, and for that, we thank you. The Alberta RCMP is proud to collaborate with agencies like AMSS, which plays an instrumental role in the promotion of motorcycle safety. To ensure Alberta roads are safe for all road users, motorcyclists, drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians alike. As a member of the RCMP and an avid motorcycle rider myself, this topic is near and dear to my heart. Statistics show that most collisions occur due to driver error, whether because of impaired or distracted driving. The truth is that with preparation and focus, these tragedies can be prevented. Motorcycles are more vulnerable than larger vehicles because of their size. Riders should always remain visible, maintaining a safe distance with other vehicles to avoid blind spots. Proper gear will also keep you comfortable and reduce the risk of serious injury in the event of a collision. Reducing the number of fatalities and serious injuries resulting from motor vehicle collisions is a top priority of the Alberta RCMP. I know that we can get there by continuing to work with great partners like you. We all have a part to play when it comes to traffic safety. That starts with respecting traffic signals and posted speed limits, putting your phones down and being mindful of each other on the road, especially at intersections. Please enjoy the rest of the event and don't forget to #ThinkBike. Thank you.
Thank you, Constable Luymes. Now, the province puts a whole lot of support behind this initiative as well. Wendy Doyle is Executive Director of Traffic Safety for Alberta Transportation. Wendy, would you come on up?
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to join you today on behalf of Alberta Transportation to speak about motorcycle safety. If I wouldn't have known better and had Constable Luymes go first, I would think that we had the same speechwriters, but consistency is good. The Office of Traffic Safety is a branch within Alberta Transportation dedicated to reducing serious injuries and fatalities in Alberta by targeting core issues within our road system, which contribute to collisions on our highways. As you know, there are high-risk behaviors associated with collisions on highways, none of which will surprise you. Issues such as impaired driving, speeding, distraction, failure to wear a seatbelt, and many, many others. Tackling these issues often means changing ingrained behaviors, and as we know, behavior change takes time. When we switch gears and begin to focus specifically on motorcyclist safety, the techniques become more difficult. When we look at vehicles, they have engineered life space and airbags to keep occupants in their seats. They have crash testing and safety ratings as a result of strict federal standards. Unfortunately, motorcyclists are not offered the same protection. Their protection is limited to completely preventing crashes to begin with, or if there is a crash, reducing the severity by the equipment and clothing they wear. In Alberta, protective clothing is not required by law, only recommended. Helmets, of course, are required, but at the end of the day, it is a rider's choice as to how they can protect themselves best while doing what they love the most. This is why organizations and partnerships such as this are so important, to bring attention to these issues and to educate the riders on how they can better protect themselves. Safety is a shared responsibility, and we all have a role to play. Now, I did come prepared with some statistics as well. So there are almost 300,000 motorcyclists registered with a Class 6 license in Alberta. The split from male to female riders are about 7-1. An interesting fact, there are over 2,200 riders in Alberta over the age of 80. Over a 5-year period, over 3,200 motorcycles were involved in casualty collisions, and unfortunately that resulted in 163 fatalities and over 3,300 injuries. Very tragic. Nearly half of the motorcyclists involved in these collisions were a result of driver error, and the two most common errors being following too closely and running off the road. Speed can also be a factor. Almost 20% of motorcyclists involved in casualty collisions were traveling at a speed too fast for the given conditions. And of course, this jumps to 40% in fatal collisions. As we know already this season, we've lost 3 riders. Alberta Transportation has proudly sponsored and partnered with AMSS for several years now, and we provided funding through our Alberta Traffic Safety Fund for a few of their annual launches, just like today's. And we continue to work together on joint initiatives. As part of our integrated safety campaign, numerous stakeholders across the province focus on motorcycle safety in May, most of which are represented here today. Thank you, Liane, for the invite to participate in today's launch. I appreciate the work our partners do in the interest of traffic safety and, more importantly, motorcycle safety. To the riders out there, ride smart, ride safe, and think bike. Thank you.
Thank you kindly, Wendy. We felt it was important to have a first-hand account of what it's like to experience and survive a motorcycle collision. And we have a very special guest here to do that with us. Here to share his story is Colin Spencer. Colin, come on up here, sir. And by the way, great job on CTV Morning Live the other day.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of a background on my riding history. I'm 29 currently, and I started riding back in 2009 and didn't have any incidences and no cutoffs or anything like that. And then April 1st in 2016, I ran into a situation where I had an individual pull out in front of me from a stop sign, which I impacted her rear wheel, got tossed off the bike quite high, number of somersaults, and landed on my back, and then bounced up and then landed on the median connecting the 2 roads on Baseline, where my right arm was dislocated and wrapped backwards around me, and the gas tank had broken my pelvis in 4 places and pulled my hips out kind of like a clamshell, which tore all my ligaments front and back. And I don't remember the accident itself. I had a pretty bad concussion, and the incidences after the fact take quite some time to get over that. Because I didn't have any life-threatening injuries, I had to wait in bed for a week with a broken pelvis, which was very vivid. That's a lot of pain that stays for quite some time. I was in a wheelchair for 10 weeks, had to relearn how to walk. Took me about a year to be able to put 10 pounds above my head, did 96 physiotherapy sessions. So it was very vivid. It was very something that you'll never forget, right? But one of the things that really did help me through all of that was the fact that I was wearing proper gear when that accident happened. I was wearing a Shoei GT Air helmet, which is on display over there, and the vest that's over there as well as an Icon Field Armor vest that has the D3O material in it that is a soft gel, but when it takes an impact, it stiffens up and it disperses the pressure evenly across your back, which stopped me from breaking my back when I hit the ground. And the helmet that, if you see, there's a dent inside from my head that stopped from catastrophic brain injuries. And then right after I got used to walking, and I got right back on a motorcycle just to tell myself that I wasn't afraid. Put 3,000 kilometers down, finished off the 2016 season, and then due to personal issues that I was having, I stopped riding after that. But the main point behind all of it is if you wear the proper gear when you were riding, it can prevent serious injuries. If I wasn't wearing the vest, I would have broken my back. If I wasn't wearing a really good helmet, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now. It's very important that you do that. And same thing with riding. It's look well in front of you. You have to know if the person in front of you is going to hit the brakes before they do. I currently am involved with Blue Line Racing as an endurance driver for their race team. And it's the same thing. Look well ahead so you know where your corners are. Same thing with the EMRA. Look well ahead. You know where everybody else is on the track. It's the same thing to driving on the road. Don't ride in people's blind spots. Be well in front, be well behind. And it's up to you to make sure that you're not in pinch points, but as in my case, it can and will happen. People pulling out in front of you, even if they see you, they'll still do it. And you have to prepare for the worst. So wear your gear and make sure that you're prepared to get into an emergency situation and always be in mind of what to do and know your motorcycle and always ride safe and never take unnecessary chances with not wearing proper gear. So thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Colin, thank you for that, and we're so grateful that you are here to share that story. Now, the Alberta Motorcycle Safety Society has an intrepid leader who puts her heart and soul into all of this. She's a dedicated rider, and she is dedicated to this mission. So please join me in welcoming the AMSS President, Liane Langlois.
Hello, everybody. Before I get into this, I just want to thank the EMRA and 50 for coming down. If anybody's interested in what it takes to get on the track to really challenge yourself, please go over to the blue tent and talk to those guys. They've taken time out of track prep this year to come down and represent, so I appreciate that. As well as this year, we signed up 3 riding schools in Calgary and 2 in Edmonton, including TNT, and Juliana's over under our tent if anybody's interested in a total control course offered through TNT. Today only, they are offering a discount on that course. So those are my 2 big things that I wanted to say before I got into this. 2 years ago, we saw an increase in single vehicle collisions, resulting in the majority of motorcycle fatalities in Alberta. With that knowledge, we sat down and created messaging that focused on our own community to perhaps curb behaviors there and save some lives. As we neared launching the 2018 campaign, We saw 3 left-hand turning vehicles in 3 completely unrelated collisions, killing 5 riders across our province to start the season. And then that trend of collisions with other vehicles once again took over the majority of motorcycle fatalities in 2018. This year, we start the season with 3 fatalities already on record just in Edmonton alone. This involved both single and multi-vehicle collisions. This means that we can't actually focus our messaging based on statistics and trends because it switches too much every year. So we need to focus everything that we do on both drivers and riders alike to help remind everybody of their responsibilities that starts with each of us individual road users. AMSS was born out of a necessity and a dream that vulnerable road users would have specific messaging to help promote safety and awareness in an effort to reduce those fatality statistics in our community. That we could create a centric place where anyone could ask any question and the answer they would get would be from a reliable source, thanks to all of our partnerships that you see here today. That a group of concerned riders could join forces and create this grassroots movement to make this dream come true. We're now launching our 4th campaign and, more importantly, our 3rd campaign that covers nearly every corner of our wonderful province. AMSS thrives on positive partnerships. Without partnerships with government, enforcement, industry, media, and community, this just simply doesn't work. We need all parties working together, willing to listen to each other and support each other for a better understanding so our common goal can be reached. We need support from government to ensure that legislation and programs that are put in place make sense for all road users, including motorcycle riders. We need support from enforcement to ensure that our community of vulnerable road users are protected with proper enforcement of traffic rules, including with our own riders themselves. We need support from industry to ensure they're providing the best service and the best support for our riding community. We need support from media to ensure that the messaging gets out there to properly promote motorcycling in a good light, as well as report the stories that need to be told. We need support from our community, and this for me is the big one. We need support from drivers to be better on our roads. Stop distracted driving. Look, and I mean really look, before you're changing lanes or turning at intersections. We need support from our own to carry the message forward, like our new Calgary-based team who is all up here today to help celebrate this launch. We also need to stop pointing fingers elsewhere and start looking in the mirror to take responsibilities for our own safety on the roads. That means proper gear. That means responsibility. That means understanding that your actions, in fact, do impact those around you, even though it's your life. We would all certainly like the folks from the Ride in Paradise who organize memorial rides to be out riding for much different reasons than the one they have planned for today after this event starting at City Hall, honoring a recent fallen rider. If we actually had everyone doing their part, imagine what could go right. This year, we're excited to bring a new initiative to Alberta street riders, and that is in the medical data carrier, or the MDC as we like to call them. This small sticker pouch contains emergency information and contact information and any important medical information that might be helpful in the event of an emergency. Any person who comes across a collision involving a rider can look for that on the left side of a helmet, and when they call 911, provide paramedics that are responding as well as hospitals with some crucial information before they even get to the scene. Imagine knowing ahead of time any allergies or medical conditions that might affect the factor of your care. This will do nothing but benefit the outcome of the rider, giving them the best chance possible. It's priceless information according to paramedics and enforcement people that we've already spoken to about this. Now, we know this is going to take some time for the program to really get out there, and we are completely dedicated to making sure that everybody knows about the MDCs. And some may ask why an MDC over ICE programmed into your phone. Well, there's simple reasons for that. Your phone can get lost or damaged in a collision. A properly fitted helmet will remain on your head, and therefore that sticker will be easily identifiable and easily accessible without having to search through somebody's baggage or their clothing to find all of that stuff. Not to mention your motorcycle might land 500 yards down the road from where you are if it's attached to that. With regards to our campaign this year, we are very excited to add a new public service announcement into the TV rotation called Same Commute, Different Risks. Graham King at Bell Media, specifically CTV Edmonton, took our idea and carefully crafted a message and an image that turned out brilliant in our opinion. It's a split screen of a driver and a rider, and it shows the different risks in those different commuting abilities. This will add to our already existing and still very much needed left turn and We Are PSAs that Chorus Entertainment helped us develop. That's that partnership in media that we keep talking about. We can't do anything without these guys. Over the vast majority of radio stations, if you aren't hearing your favorite motorcycle riding on-air personality speaking their truth in an AMS message, you'll find the attention-grabbing voice of Al Murdoch, who lent us his talents this year for some fresh messaging. And finally, Post Media has once again stepped up offering ads throughout their publications during the riding season. Without the cooperation and generosity from all media outlets throughout this province, our voice is much weaker. So our deepest appreciation for all of your love for the AMSS initiative. It will never go unnoticed. In closing, I'd like to thank everyone for coming, especially our partners, our corporate members who were able to make it out, to Production World for this wonderful logistics setup, because we can't do this without you guys, that's for sure. Colin for his very impactful and important voice with his story of his experience. And to Wendy, Jay, Constable Ben, and Michael, thank you all for being here to represent why our partnerships are so important and to help celebrate the safe return of motorcycles to Alberta roads. Whether you're riding or driving, please just remember to always think bike. Thank you for coming.
Liane, thanks again to all the work you and your team are doing day in and day out. It's gone a long way. All right, we're all here to share in the message. Now let's get out there and spread it. So from all of us, may you have a safe and enjoyable riding season. And as always, get the t-shirt. Think bike. Thank you. Check out the displays as well.